Welcome to the Purple Stars podcast, the place where every life story and paw print has the power to touch your heart and inspire meaningful change. I'm Sarah Herzl, your host, a coach for health and mindset, a founder, an author, and above all, an animal lover. In this podcast, we bring together guests who share a deep love for our furry companions and offer unique perspectives on life and the life lessons they have learned from animals. If you're an animal lover who is eager to grow personally, this is precisely where you belong.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Purple Stars podcast. My name is Sarah, I'm your host, and I'm really thrilled because May is my birthday month. I'm turning 33 and I wanted to mark this month with something a little bit different. So you are going to get more solo episodes than usual. I was thinking to share more personal reflections, personal lessons, personal stories. And for today's solo episode, I am going to share, because I'm turning 33, 3 things I'm letting go of and 3 things I'm welcoming in as I step into this new chapter. And the first out is going to be noise. So any type of noise that tends to make me feel more unsettled and stressed. And while I'm not going to be able to cut it all out completely, just because that's, how life is, I am just focusing and having the attention on being more mindful about how much of the noise I'm letting in. So I really want to soften the volume on anything that pulls me away from my own center. And that includes the obvious ones like the news, but even the amount of positive content I'm consuming, whether it's podcasts or books or articles or TED Talks, because I feel, for me personally, particularly when I have too much noise around me, it's so much harder to hear my inner voice, my gut feeling, sometimes even my needs. And this year, more than ever actually, I really need more stillness to stay grounded and also to stay connected to myself and to be able to regulate my nervous system, especially with everything that's happening in the world. And this brings me to my very first in, which is going to help me a lot with the noise canceling, and that is meditation. So I've been meditating for many years, but recently I picked up again meditating 2 times a day. So I'm doing 1 session in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, and guys, I have to tell you, it makes such a big difference. Like, the difference is absolutely insane. I feel at work, I feel so much more focused. I feel more resilient. Like, when things don't go as planned, I feel I am much quicker to find solutions, also creative solutions. I am definitely more present. I feel less anxious because in the beginning of the year, I definitely felt more unsettled, particularly with the wildfires happening in LA and, all the other things. And so I just love the twice-a-day meditation. And interestingly enough, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who is a brilliant meditation teacher. And she said she always recommends people, rather than meditating for a long time in the morning, splitting it up in 2 sections a day, because it's just so much better for the nervous system. And yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. Like, I've been doing it anyway in the morning, but in the afternoon I'm also setting a reminder, just so in the midst of all the to-dos and meetings and walks with my dog Felix, I don't forget about it. And yeah, so that's my very big first in. And I'm very excited about that. And also what I wanted to share actually about this meditation, I started meditating when I was around, I would say 13, 14 years old, one of our very close family friends back then. Her name was Elfrida. She taught me all about meditation, and she taught me all sorts of different kinds of meditations, and it was really amazing. And unfortunately, she did pass away like around 2 years afterwards. And interestingly enough, she did die on a day where I won my very first bigger golf tournament. And I was very sad because I just wanted to tell her, like all the meditations and the visualizations you've taught me, and just like the monkey mind, getting it like a little less crazy, bringing it back. I just wanted to let her know that I really feel it's helping me. So I do hope when I'm recording this right now, she is looking down and she's very excited that I'm not just meditating, but also that I actually do really feel a difference thanks to meditation. And I also am now making more space for it in my life. So first out is noise, first in is meditation. The second out is free time that is work related. And I'm sure many of you can relate to this. I love my job so much. Like every book I'm reading is about anything that basically helps me to become a better coach, a better speaker. Most podcasts I listen to are around personal growth and health and mindset and all these related topics. Events I attend to, workshops I go to, and so on and so on and so on. And I've just noticed that it is hard when our free time is also work related, despite it not really being work, like this kind of sneaky work related time. It's much harder to recharge. And why I've come to this point is particularly because there have been some Mondays where I was still really tired. And I kept thinking to myself, how's it possible I'm still tired? I didn't really do any work on the weekend, but then I was like, I am doing lots of work. Even if I'm not sitting down in front of a computer, or if I'm seeing a client of mine or recording a podcast, while thinking about all of that, it is work too. So here comes my second in, and that is non-work related fun free time. And so basically anything that brings me joy outside work. And I'm very fortunate because obviously, spending time with my loved ones, my family, and also going for really long walks with Felix, that is really helpful. But I've also thought about a few other things. So I wanna, because I love cooking, so I am planning to try each week a new recipe. It doesn't even need to be anything like fancy or big, just anything I haven't cooked before. I'm also trying to go for different cuisines. I'm really excited because a friend of mine got me a Greek cookbook, so I'm definitely going to try a few of these recipes as well. And I'm also going to get new books that are I don't even know what they're going to be, but they're just not work related. And I think in LA we have a lot of free libraries, so where you take a book, you bring a book. So I think I'll just start getting a few books there just to see what outside my work I actually like to read, because I think the last time I really was reading books that were not work related were probably in high school, so it's quite a long time ago. And yeah, I just also I want to go and spend more time on a golf course, because as many of you know, I used to be a competitive golf player, so I just want to be able to do that and attend more dance classes and yoga and Pilates. So just so I have a good, fun, free time for my body, mind, and soul. Yeah, so that's the second out. Free time that's hidden work related, and the second in, which will help me is non-work related, fun free time. And this being said, here we come to my third out. And that is worrying about ideas that haven't come to life yet. And what I mean by that, I have lots of different ideas, whether it's ideas that are coming from myself or ideas that I have with people I work with or my team for projects and books and workshops and events and this and this and this and that. And often, I feel the pressure to move on every idea right away. Simply because I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do it. This is exciting. But also I'm learning to just ease up on that urgency and to remind myself not everything needs to be done immediately. And sometimes some ideas come up for later. So this is actually then my third in. I started getting a little notebook, one that I can bring with me wherever I go, or most of the time at least, and write down ideas. So this is my idea book, so I don't actually need to worry any ideas are going to get lost. And anything that goes into the idea book automatically gets the permission to come to life to a later point, whether it's in a week, in a month, in a year, in 5 years, or maybe even 10 years. So I'm really giving myself more space to let ideas breathe, to let them evolve without rushing them or putting unnecessary stress on myself, because as we all know, stress is not good. And after all, I'm self-employed, so most of the stress and pressure I am feeling comes from myself. and I just think it's not necessary. Yeah, so these are my 3 ins and my 3 outs. And I think it's a really great way to think about, the things that we want to let go of or reduce and things that we then can welcome in. And it's a great way to reset and also to realign. And it's not something that can be done around your birthdays or maybe a new year. I'm also going to invite you to take a moment yourself and to grab a journal or note on your phone, or maybe just sit with it and think about 3 things you would like to leave behind or reduce in a certain way, so your personal outs. And what are 3 things then you want to welcome in, which are going to be your personal ins? And you can do this, of course, around your birthday and your new year, but you can also do this each quarter or even monthly. And I think it's a really beautiful way to check in with yourself and just to stay aligned with what actually feels good and true and also fun for yourself. Well, guys, this is episode number 1 of May. I can't wait to be back next week with another solo episode. And I hope that during this time, you will find some moments to reflect on your personal ins and outs. And I would be so excited if you could share those with me on social media. And also share it with your friends, because it's always great to ponder about these things with people we love. Stay safe. Bye.